When we first talked about it and thought about it, our view was that really this is the largest team ever to go overseas, or largest number of sportsmen and women, and also the largest contingent and the most sports represented ever for the Olympics. So we thought that these people, having obtained Olympic qualification, should get a profile. They are our heroes. Having obtained Olympic qualification as it is, coming from a small country like Fiji, that already is a major achievement. So we didn't want our athletes to be swamped by China and America and England and Germany. These are our heroes. They deserve a platform. All the information from all the athletes, every sport. Definitely the sevens were a medal contender, so they deserve a good profile. But everybody deserved a profile. So we sent our 3 key people to Rio. We backed it up with significant teams in our office here in Suva, and production every day, an additional 8 pages in colour for 45 days. That's a huge financial undertaking. When we went to the market with this proposal, we received amazing support to cover the financial issues and costs from our sponsors, and we must acknowledge them, because without that financial support we just couldn't have been able to do it. We've been able to provide our athletes with a profile. We'll be looking forward to, as well, for our young athletes, for which this was a springboard, going through to Tokyo. And again, when that time comes, we'll be talking to our sponsors, because we've now set a standard of coverage for Fijian athletes for the future. Huge undertaking. We'll all need a rest when this is over. But here we go, we've done it, like the Fiji Times always does. It's there for the record. Our library is 150 years old, and this is part of the library for the next 150 years.
We knew very early on that Rio was going to be special. For once in our sporting history, there was a great opportunity to win a medal, and without a doubt, thousands of Fijians hoped it was going to be gold. So in preparation for this, we actually had to involve members of various departments within the editorial department. We had to pull in online with the editor to be a part of this, a part of our coverage in Rio. We had to pull in our designers and our layout people, our sub-editors. It was important, obviously, that the sports department had an active role, a prominent role in disseminating the information from the games. The Fiji Times, as some of you know, started way back in 1869 on September 4 along Beach Street in Lebuka. We've been recorders of history over the past 147 years. And this was an event that we knew had to be covered appropriately. It was an event that we knew had to have the attention, the 100% attention of the Fiji Times.
The Fiji Times was fortunate to have 3 people covering the games, which included myself, Matthew Malo, and Timo Dibula. We were sending stories daily. It wasn't an easy job because in Rio there was a lot of traveling time. Going to venues could take at least 1 to 2 hours, when really on a normal day it could take 15 minutes. But because of the huge traffic jams in Rio, traveling took up a big part of our time daily. And there was the challenges of trying to get our athletes and to go to the Olympic Village. There were so many journalists in Rio, and we were all almost chasing the same stories. So in sevens rugby, it was a big scramble at the mixed zone for interviews. But the demand in Fiji was that we produced this 8-page lift out daily, and was a very exciting experience, though, despite the challenges, because we were at the Olympic Games. Not every journalist have the opportunity to cover against the Olympic Games, but there's nothing like I can't express with the feeling when we stand over there and we see a Fijian athlete come on, and they calling out that this is the athlete from Fiji. And it was soccer that played first on August 4th before the opening, and Timothy Wulu was talking about how the people in Salvador came out in numbers. There were actually 16,000 people that bought tickets for that match, Fiji against Korea, that came out in support of Fiji with their placards, and even though most of them didn't know where Fiji was, and despite whatever difficulties we faced, we still enjoyed the experience because it was the Olympic Games. More importantly, we were able to cover 54 athletes that represented Fiji in 10 different sports. And I think the icing on the cake was the gold medal by our national men's and sevens rugby team.
On the Rio Olympics coverage, it was a big challenge in terms of content and the human resource, what we needed to put the paper together. Since July 18th, we had this first 8-page lift out. We had to plan, it was 2 weeks in advance for this Rio coverage. We had to merge the sports department, the designers and layout people on the sports department were merged with the subs desk, just to bring up this 8-page daily lift out on Rio. As for the content, it was a huge challenge for us because the daily 8 pages required local stuff. So the designers and layout, the sub-editors had to get stuff well before publishing the printing dates. So it was well before Rio. We were under pressure to meet our deadlines, to bring out an 8-page daily lift out on Rio that required local stuff.
Well, in all the planning, we had to also consider the time difference, Rio and Fiji. When dealing with content, we had to keep this in mind. When we were asleep, the guys in Rio were up and about. So when we got into the newsroom early morning, we had stories there. So it took them a few days to adjust to the time difference. But thereafter, we contacted through emails and mobile calls. When Fiji won the sevens gold medal, we had a 6 o'clock deadline. So until after the game that morning, 10 o'clock, we had just a few hours to put this stuff together. It's amazing how things unfolded that day, because we didn't only depend on the content from Rio, but we had to get reactions from here, which I think really made our work flow much quicker, filling those pages. And I think we really stood up to the challenge.
My role during the Rio Olympics was to oversee the final product. That was the lift out that we used to run on a daily basis, and to see the smooth flow of copies from the reporters to the sub-editors, and then the pages down to the clippers. The major challenge I faced during the Rio Olympics maybe was to meet the deadlines, I guess, because like I said earlier on, deadlines are pretty important to us, and late paper is a useless paper, so it is very important for us to get the newspaper out to our readers on time. When we have events as big as the Rio Olympics or the World Cup, everybody needs to step up a bit. And I say step up a bit, everybody needs to get out of their comfort zone and do a little bit of extra work. And it was the same here at the Fiji camps and on the desk. I guess the sub-editors, the reporters, the photographers, they all had to step up and they had to work the extra yard to meet the expectations of the readers. The best part about being part of the Fiji Times campaign media, this is a historic event, and I'm not really sure where I'll be in the next 4 years. So, yeah, so it's good to be in the Fiji Times team covering the Rio Olympics, and especially when we have won a gold medal. So I don't know when we'll win the next gold medal. This is historic for us and the Fiji Times as well.
So my role in this process is just to coordinate and facilitate with everybody. I work with the chief photographer very closely to see which pictures maybe the best pictures we have on the day and which can make the front page of the newspaper. While the online team is also coordinating closely, I also coordinate closely with the online team and with our chief sub-editor, Sakiasi Wanganivawalang. He was our main point of contact for the team from Rio, and they would every day email him lists of what stories they had, or we would email them story ideas that we had covered from here in Fiji. And that was in the lead up to the Olympic Games, and while Fiji was competing, the Fiji Sevens team specifically. On the day that the Fiji Sevens team played Great Britain and they won, my role was to handle and coordinate coverage locally. That included watching getting to the families of the players and watching the games with them, because that's where we would get some of our best reactions. So we worked with the photographers, with our team in the West, to get to the villages of the boys, Fiji boys from the West, Samsuni Viriviri and Kitchen Talinga. Also here in Suva, we coordinated reporters to get to Jerry Tuai's family and to Osea Kolinisau's family. And so that's how that was my role in assisting the coverage for the Rio Olympics.
My role as a sports editor is to see that what the Fiji Times provides to the readers are the best. So basically, before the Rio Olympic Games started, we met the team and we distributed assignments for the reporters. So the ones that are going and the ones that will be in Fiji. And the assignments are to interview all the teams that will be representing the country in the games and get the best for the readers. We design and layout of the pages. We work with our sub-editors, with Sakasi and Sanju, and we distribute a number of pages so that sports sub-editors are not overworked, so they can also do their work properly. I think we've done the best we can, and our team provided the best stories we can give our readers, and also our layout and design of the pages. I think we've done the best we can for our readers.
My task in the Olympic campaign was 8-page Rio liftout for Fiji Times daily. My work involved design and layout, creativity, color coordination of the pages for this 8-page, dominant pictures, the main picture for the cover page. It was an honor being part of the Rio Olympics journey through Fiji Times campaign.
For the Rio Olympics coverage, there's a lot of coordination going around. Before, during and after the Rio Olympics. From our department, there are four main areas to select a good picture. Firstly is the communication from our department and other staff members of Fiji Times, especially Team Rio. Second is the selection of pictures. Thirdly is with our department touch up pictures for good quality, and lastly is making sure the picture is related to the story that is sent in.
And for Team Fiji Times, we will see you in